Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable and earn a payout. And this was a pretty chill week to be honest, because I didn't get to trade that much because there wasn't really that many great opportunities, which I guess is fair enough. It is nearing December and I remember later on in the year the opportunities does start to dry out, so this is to be expected and it's all good. I just got to keep the eyes on the prize and continue with the proper work ethic and mindset for going for those A+ setups only. And yeah, that's with that out of the way, let's get into this week's trades. Alright, so for today, it seemed to be a bit hard to read low-key. We had this 4-hour fair value gap plus order block above and this 1-hour order block which created the strong level, and I thought that price could continue to reject off of this level and move lower. And I do think that this is likely because these imbalances would be pretty strong, though what I'm not too sure about is that price overall on the high time frame is trending higher. Coming down to the low time frame, it's still stalling as we hadn't hit that high time frame level. From that, I had a few ideas for what I could do. If we hadn't hit the high time frame level by the time I can trade, then more likely I'll aim for a setup targeting those high time levels if the trade is worth in terms of RR. Though overall my directional bias is more bearish, so I want to see more reactions. And look, you can see for today that I didn't find anything. I was waiting for a clean break that could help me find a direction, but even if we did get a break, it would be hard for me to find a target because, you know, they're all pretty close to my entry. And price was just ping-ponging around and getting a bunch of wick sweeps on the low time frame. The initial idea of shorts today wasn't really holding too. I gave price a bit more time to develop though, because there could still be a setup that could form, though we didn't get that and price ended up just chopping around even more. And since that was the case, I did end up taking a trade today. And for today, there wasn't much I can say about it. There really wasn't any great A+ setups that I could take. Been a bit since there hasn't been a decent trade on Monday, but yeah, it does happen sometimes. I just gotta be careful not to force anything if it's not A+. And yeah, otherwise it's a good day. Alright guys, so today I didn't end up taking a setup today because it was a No News Tuesday, and that's why the segment's a little bit different because I went back to do a little analysis on today. But you can see on the high time today we were overall pretty bullish. You can see we respected a 4-hour inverse fair value gap, and then we had a 1-hour shift higher into a 1-hour fair value gap respect. On the time frame we had some imbalances as well, with a 15 and 5-minute order block plus a 5-minute wick sweep, which was really clean and it set up a really good opportunity for me. And you can see we also tapped the 5-minute high-low golden zone, and we tapped out the body, which was really nice as well. And this all like culminated into a really nice setup. 5-minute got a body form higher as well, and that was the confirmation I would need to enter into the setup. And since this setup was very high conviction with, you know, high time frame plus low time frame aligning really well, I could have targeted -2 or even a little bit higher because I would expect it to run quite well, because it's not like a retracement or any type of smaller move. It's more of a larger move that can push for further targets. And since that's the case, I could have taken this setup. But yeah, usually I don't take no news because I lost on it quite a bit, and because it's less probable for me, like some weeks there will be no setup at all forming, or I'll just take a setup that is potentially A+, but then it reverses on me, then, you know, I wouldn't continue forcing to take trades on Tuesdays, especially because my trading times are at like 3 in the morning, so there's no need to really force it if it's unprobable. But yeah, this is just like one point or like one confluence to make me consider taking Tuesday trades. But yeah, I will still most likely stick to not trading on Tuesdays, but I'll keep an eye out for the future, see if there's more opportunities, but otherwise that's about it. Alright guys, so high turn today seemed to be pretty bearish overall as we had a high turn wick sweep, and we then got a massive wave down to bring us pretty close to the strong liquidity over here, which could act as our target. And we had a 15 plus 5-minute fair value gap which we were retesting into, so this could be a pretty good area where I could wait for a reaction. And if price had a good reaction, I could take this setup with confidence, but that all depends on how price forms. And as you can probably tell, I did end up taking a trade today, and the thing for today is that I didn't end up waking up in time for trading. It is a little bit embarrassing, but yeah, I missed my alarm, which made me sleep past, and that is something that I need to work on, because since I am away, the time zone is a little harder to work around, especially because I do have some responsibilities during the day that I can't just fully degen my way through. And I know that trading is a sacrifice, and I need to make the decision to do things properly if I am going to trade, so most likely I will take the choice to stay up because I don't want to make this mistake again. It really does feel shit, you know, missing out on a day where I could have traded. For today, realistically, I would have either not traded or taken a loss, but still not maintaining that consistency to make it to the charts is what feels shit. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stay up now and tank the no sleep. So overall today I do feel quite bullish. I had to recruit some help from the daily time frame where we had an order block that price was respecting, and we did shift higher on the daily too to continue with that uptrend. We did have a 1 hour order block with a 1 hour wick sweeps off a low, which I thought added a lot to the bias too. And you might be wondering, then what about all those wick sweeps on the highs? And for that I would say that price is continuously pushing higher and sweeping out their draws and liquidity, so I could target the recent draws rather than anything further, and that could be considered a reasonable target. And looking at the low time frame, we did back up this idea with a 15 plus 5 minute order block and a 5 minute wick sweep of a low, and because of all these confluences I was pretty confident in this setup, though I'll continue to wait to see how price forms, and if it confirms the move then I won't hesitate to take the setup. I ended up getting a huge pump prior to market open to confirm us a 15 minute shift higher, so I wanted to wait for a nice retest lower before going for a setup, and we continued shifting lower and ended up getting a 15 minute CIST, which made me change my attention to forward shorts. Price did get a retest into the 5 minute fair value gap, but I wanted to see the 15 minute inverse fair value gap get tapped into 2, either that or a clean shift on the 1 minute, and I kept waiting but price was just not providing at all, which is pretty sad, but I kept on waiting for a little bit and nothing came, so yet again I ended up taking no trade today. And for today, just really wasn't any setup provided. It's a shame that the initial long move ran so quickly, which made the move not really possible to take, but it's all good. I just gotta keep being vigilant and wait for those A+ setups to come and execute on them. The end of the year usually has a dry period from my experience, so this is absolutely normal, and I just keep waiting patiently for my moves to come. Okay, so for overall, we do seem to be pretty bearish today. We had a wick sweep of a high, and we had a 1 hour inverse fair value gap from this massive down move earlier, and price did have a 1 hour order block plus a wick sweep of a low though, so we do have some potential to move higher too, and we did fail to form a bullish 4 hour order block though, which is why I'm leaning more towards shorts. And looking down at the low time frame, we do have some bearish imbalances that I do want to see the reaction off of. This 15 plus 5 minute fair value gap was a pretty good overlap, as it overlapped with the 1 hour inverse fair value gap, and I wanted to see how price would react to this level, and if we confirm the down move from here, I would most likely enter without any hesitation, though I do want to wait for some more confirmation. And I had to wait for a little while for the setup. We ended up getting a massive pump during market open and a nice retest shortly after, which allowed me to start forming a setup, and price ended up shifting past the 1 minute fair value gap after respecting the 15 plus 5 minute inverse fair value gap, which allowed me to get into the setup. I didn't have to wait for long before I was able to top up to my regular risk too, and price ended up running really well to hit my TP. Okay, so aside from that fumble at the very end there, the setup was real fire. We had good confirmation and a good bias form from both the high timer and low timer combined. This correlation allowed me to take a clean setup that ran nicely, and I'm really happy with the setup, honestly. It's quite a rewarding feeling, especially after waiting so long throughout the week for a proper setup to form, and when I did, I didn't hesitate to execute. So yeah, a real nice day to end off the week. Alright, so that about does it for this week. Pretty chill week. Didn't get that many trades, which I guess is alright, but it is quite a drop from the past few weeks where it has been providing plenty of great setups constantly. Each quarter has periods like these though, so I know I just gotta keep maintaining that good mentality and not forcing setups and only waiting for the good ones to come. Not really much I can reflect on for this week since there wasn't any good setups, but yeah, one thing I did well was just sitting there, I guess, because I know me in the past would have forced a shit setup and taken it without when the confirmation wouldn't have even been good enough, and in that sense I can tell that I've grown a lot, and I am confident that I am already there. I have the profitable mindset and performance. It's more giving the reality time to match up, and this is something I'm hella confident in. No way I don't think I'm not somebody who can take payouts or pass lots of accounts. I know I can, and I just gotta wait for that momentum to build up. Takes a bit of time, but you know, anything good does take time, and I do love the process too, so I don't mind it one bit. And yeah, otherwise that's about it for this week. Check out the Discord if y'all are interested. There's a chill place for everybody to talk and grow, and everybody in this chill, so join up if you guys are keen. And yeah, that's about it for this one, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.